Welcome back to Guard Your Grill Boxing, November 10th, 2007. This is the section we call Box Score. Just got finished watching an amazing fight between Miguel Cotto and Shane Mosley for the welterweight championship of the world.
Guard Your Grill Boxing, it's your man Coltrane, chilling with my man Sleep B. Once again, we're going to recap the big showdown, Fast and Furious, Cotto versus Shane Mosley for the welterweight title. You know, as I mentioned, I picked Miguel Cotto. Well, those of y'all didn't see the show prior to this one, I picked Miguel Cotto to actually win this fight. Now, I did have the fight a draw at the end of the fight. However, I did what things that I thought projected to happen did happen in the fight. For instance, Shane not being able to hurt Miguel Cotto. Also, Shane not being able to get out of the way of his own shadow. His lack of defensive skills, his lack of lateral movement, his lack of knowing how to actually be a ring general, like a Floyd Mayweather, you know, like a Vernon Forrest. Pardon me, Shane Mosley just looked like a shell of himself tonight.
In the early rounds, I'm going to tell y'all, because I tried to break down the round by round for y'all early on. It didn't go exactly the way I thought it would go. All of a sudden, Cotto comes out and he's boxing. I'll be real with y'all, that first round didn't look good at all. I didn't expect him to come out boxing like that. He was countering him, Shane wasn't showing any movement. Where you at? Oh, she been coaching. Guard Your Grill Boxing, baby. He's like trying to counter and boxing. I would have never expected that. You know, early on he was eating Shane's power, as Coltrane suggested he would, and Michael Myers showed up. So when you see the play-by-plays, because we was actually getting footage in between the rounds, you're going to see that I was kind of, you know, trying to dictate. I was very honest about the fight. Michael Myers did show up, and he was eating a lot of punches. Like it is, he's finding him.
He finding him, but guess who got the better of the punches in that last exchange?
Yo,
I'll take a body shot.
I respect the young boy has a lot of heart, but
you gonna talk about how he finding him with the jab?
Can I talk? Shane is starting to find him, and that's going to be an issue. Trust me.
He getting hit with some body shots, though. You saying he finding him, but he getting hurt.
He is not going to survive if he keeps getting hit with those shots.
Body shots. They gonna take their toll.
He going to his body too. But then something very suspicious happened midway through the fight.
And what was that?
Shane got a second win and started using his brain a little bit.
Shocked me, that's for sure.
Right,
if he had it in him.
If Shane would have came out and just boxed instead of sitting in the pocket, let me demonstrate with my man right here. You got Cotto, he's sitting in the pocket, and Shane is not really using any technique to counter him. He's sitting there like, you know, and Cotto's being the aggressor with the counter punches. If Shane would have created some distance and used the jab forcefully instead of just putting it out there and getting countered by Cotto, because he's not putting a stiff jab out here. So early on, Shane wasn't doing that. But midway through the fight, Shane started bouncing. He started bouncing, giving him angles and jabbing. Then we saw Shane become the aggressor. But then when Shane got him to a point where he could really hurt him, he wasn't doing the proper things to get him out of there. Tell y'all something. You see me sweating. We might have had the 36-year-old veteran play possum. Because Shane looked like he had all his legs under him that round. But he ate some leather towards the end, and I hope he ain't gassed himself out. But Cotto looks tired. The 36-year-old veteran. 30's the new 20.
And midway through the fight, Shane Mosley did begin to box. You know, he played the role of a boxer for 2 rounds. And then after that, he went right back to just throwing wild haymakers and getting countered by Miguel Cotto. The 12th round, that totally shocked me. I never expected Miguel Cotto of all people, to back up on his bicycle and run around.
You know what that reminded me of? An old EPMD line. And PMD said, what a way to go out like a sucker. Similar to the De La Hoya Trinidad fight, which they basically took, you know, the title from De La Hoya because of his actions. But this time, you know, people like Letterman rewarded him with the round. You know, for a warrior and a fighter like Miguel Cotto to get on his bike. But then again, that goes back to the things we were saying earlier, where Shane would have him in trouble, have him in firing range, and wouldn't let go. He caught Miguel Cotto on the ropes a couple of times, and he wouldn't let those punches go.
And that's because of the power and the respect he had for Miguel Cotto. I think that's why he was a bit. He said it himself. He said he was buzzing. He's never said he was hurt, in which I agree with him. But I do think he was buzzed a lot in the fight, and I don't know what type of effect some of those especially those body punches, had on Mosley. I've seen his mouth open a few times.
But see, Coltrane, see, when he started putting on the gas, like in the 8th round, started pressing him, He obviously had his legs behind him, started following him around the ring, but a lot of things he wasn't doing. He wasn't following him in a methodical approach. It was a lot of big right hands, you know, big left hands, and he would land on occasion, but then on occasion he was getting caught. Like he was walking in, let's demonstrate. He would walk in, and you be Miguel Cotto backing up. Here's Miguel Cotto backing up, and he's throwing big bombs, but then Miguel would counter while he was coming in, would strip back and then up top. When that
If we don't get a part 2 of this fight, we should all go picketing outside the Top Rank office. There's got to be a part 2, and no other boxing matter right now other than Cotto Mosley 2. That's all I'm going to say.
All right, fight fans, we going into the 12th round with an even match. I got the fight even. Shane has to create distance in order to befuddle Cotto. Cotto has some crowding. They both look like they're going to have their legs. I think we're going to see some fireworks. Part 2, definitely. Yeah. But I don't know if Oscar might get in the mix somehow.
All I'm going to say is, damn, it feel good to see people up on it. I picked Miguel Cotto, but I ain't going to flaunt it. All serious though, I did pick Miguel Cotto to win the fight. I actually thought the fight was a draw. I have the fight declared as a draw. I don't think either fighter really took control over the fight. I look at the fight on the grand scheme of things. I thought neither one of the fighters took actual control of the fight. I got it a draw. I was surprised at Cotto. He's a warrior. I didn't expect him to run like that in the 12th round. I'm a little disappointed about that, to be honest.
The moral victory in that
I didn't give him the 12th round. He gave him the 2 rounds. That's crazy. Let me tell you something. I got the fight. I got Mosley winning by 1 round. Being as though they're in Madison Square Garden, I don't see it happening. And Cotto being the champion, Cotto did the De La Hoya Trinidad where he gave the fight up in that last round. But they're going to give it to Cotto because it's a pro Cotto crowd, and he has the belt. And I don't know if Shane get up to beat him.
You hear something like 116, 112, we in trouble. That's all I'm gonna tell you. First score start 116, 112, we in for some trouble.
You know, let us know how you felt about this fight, because I felt Shane won it. He felt it was a draw. Obviously, the scorecards made a mockery of the sport because it wasn't a unanimous decision, Cotto. And these are the issues we've been facing with. But you may feel different, so you can hit us up at our MySpace page, MySpace/Guard Your Grill Boxing, and you can also MySpace.com/Guard Your Grill Boxing. I'm sorry. You can also reach us at guardyourgrillboxing@gmail.com.
You gotta feint left. You gotta throw feints. You gotta stage left. You gotta stage right. You gotta roll your shoulders. You gotta move your head against brawlers. You don't fight fire.
So who are the 2 fighters?